Sound on this one. Let's see. Oh, wait a minute. Is there any sound right now? Oh, I was just playing along. Hello, hello, hello. Good evening. Um, hey, I'm experimenting right here. You give me a second, okay, please. So as soon as I go to this, the sound is going away. Give me 1 second. There's the microphone in that scene. I'm going to copy it. And I'm going to put it in all 4 scene. And then I'm going to go paste. No, there's no paste. Wait. Jeez, what's going on here? 1 second. I love technical issues. They're so much fun. All right, let's see here. We've got to copy the microphone. Oh, right now. I bet you I've got sound now. Yes! Victory! All right. So tonight we're going to have a little fun. And every once in a while, I like to use these lives as an opportunity for me to just think out loud, take a new thought, idea that just occurred to me. And instead of waiting to have it in a polished form to show you guys, I thought, isn't it a good idea to sometimes just show it in the raw? And as I'm talking live about it, I get insights, I get ideas, and hopefully a little bit of feedback from you guys. Like, does this make sense, or that kind of thing. And so to give you an example, about an hour ago, let's see, let me change the view. There we go. All right. So this is a welcome to my inner mind here. Carl the Catalyst in his wave cave. All right. So again, I love showing behind the scenes and then just talk out loud because it's in its raw form. I haven't thought it out at all. So about a half an hour ago, I don't know if you can see this, and it might be written in opposite. Can you read it? If anybody's watching, I can't see any comments or anything right now. But if somebody's watching, can you read this? So here is the topic. And it's the difference between chasing after what we want versus actually getting what you want, what I'm going to call attracting what you want, where it actually comes to you. And this comes from, and let me know if you've ever experienced this, that sometimes the more you want something, the more elusive it becomes. And then sometimes the thing that you don't want, you can't get rid of. Like, perfect example, going on a diet. All of a sudden, it's like, okay, I don't want to be thinking about cake, cookies, ice cream, donuts, all that kind of stuff. I'm on a diet. I want to be thinking about blah, 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 blah. But just like, don't think about the pink elephant in the room or whatever. The instant you say, I'm not going to think about something, I'm not going to have that something, the physics, not you, this is a big point about what we talk about over here, is that it's not you, it's your mind. And it can give us a break for a moment so that we can actually maybe see what's actually going on. I say it's physics. It's not you. You're not weak. There's nothing wrong with you. Nothing like that. It's all got to do with the mind. Every bit of it. And it's a slippery mind, as I always say, right? So back to the topic. Why is it sometimes when, like on a diet, the instant you say to yourself, no to that thing, all of a sudden it's like it's all that you can think about. Now, most people will explain it and understand it like, oh, well, we need to be disciplined and we need to sacrifice and we need to, do that kind of approach where you're denying yourself in the end, but for a good cause. And denying and sacrifice seems like such a beautiful thing. And on some level it is. At the same time, it is the very thing, paradoxically, one of my favorite words, concepts that applies to everything, is that, again, the more you want something to deny yourself, the more we will tend to want it. And therefore, we have to use sacrifice and discipline to deny that thing that we actually want. And it's not you, it's your mind. And I say it's a law of physics that's at play here. The law of physics is simple. Law of physics of movement that we're talking about says one thing. Give me space and a reason to move, grow, and expand and go through you. And the opposite would be is don't deny me. So if I deny, it's kind of like going against the grain of what life wants for us and for itself. It wants to do this. It wants to move, grow, and expand. So anytime life itself in your mind shows up as like, uh-oh, you're taking stuff away, you're doing this to it, and it fights the one thrust of life. It wants to move, grow, and expand. That is why. That explains the paradox of when I try to not think of those cake and ice cream and donuts and all that stuff, that's all that we can think about. And that we eventually typically give in when the willpower gives away. So, but this thing can work in our favor once we understand it. The question here tonight is, and I got to be brief because my puppies are just, I've been very negligent, very, very, very much in production mode. And you guys know I have an audition in a couple of days. So I'm thoroughly exhausted. I don't even know, but in a beautiful way. Don't even know if I'm making sense right now. But all right, let's get back to the point so it's useful for you. Okay, I'm going to say that thing that makes us not be able to stop thinking about something is the same mechanism that causes us to keep the things that we want away, repelling. Because now look at this picture. It's what I call chasing after something. It eludes you. It's like you reach out for something and it just goes, boop, it goes away. Have you ever experienced that in your life where something comes close, you're a dream, a goal, a client, a particular sale, or whatever it happens to be, but just before it's about to happen, whoop, it slips away. The physics of that is identical to what we were just talking about. The more you try to push something away, it'll come back. A thought. Ever have a song in your head that you couldn't get out of your head? And the more you try to do it, it sticks, becomes sticky. Right? And then the opposite. Oh, and this is such a good one. We've all had this. You forget. You're thinking about something, you're talking about something, and all of a sudden you lose track of what you're talking about. And now you're off. And let's say you're giving a performance, you're talking with, somebody on a date or something like that, and you're talking about something, and all of a sudden you totally forget. You panic. It's like, oh, geez, what was I talking about now? And what do? You do the first thing on this drawing. You try to chase after. What was I thinking? You have to chase after, right? It's like, oh, what was that? Right? And it becomes hard. And this used to happen to me all the time, right? Now, if you guys can relate, please comment. Let me know I'm not the only one here, right? So the notion that we're talking about right now is chasing after it. And we're using the example of when you forget a name of somebody, or you were just about to share an idea. It's like, oh, wait, what was that? That thing. So what we do is we try to chase after it, and it makes it hard. So we're talking about paradox, and here's the solution. Here's the beautiful thing. Use paradox to solve paradox. The paradox here is the more you try to chase after remembering that thing that you just forgot, the more elusive it becomes, right? Use paradox to solve it. You go in the opposite direction, you let it go, and then the solution is to get back into the rhythm of where you were just a moment ago as you're having a conversation. Like with my nephew Nick last night, we were in just a beautiful flow, but we were going so fast that we would often forget. It's like, wait a minute, what was that idea? What was that idea? Have you ever lost an idea that you just had, right? The idea will come back when I stop chasing after it, trying to remember it, and instead use the power of rhythm you're just in as you're talking, just go back into it. Be in the yes of it. Say, I forgot it. Don't even, just let it go. Non-issue. You just get back into the rhythm of what you were just doing, and that rhythm itself will have that idea resurface every single time. How can I say every single time? Because number one, I'm somebody who has had really bad memory, and this thing works every single time I do it. And number two, it is physics. And that's a beautiful thing about this stuff. So why are we talking about this? Because, there are so many examples of folks wanting something, and it's just always kind of like out there. And when it gets close, you go after it, and it's like, you might have it for a little while, and then it slips away, and then things come back to normal. You know what I mean? Ever try and create a change, something new happens, and then in the end, it kind of like snaps back to same old, or sometimes even worse. Backtracking. Again, this is physics at play. Physics of what? The physics of movement, growth, and expansion that can be measured, felt, and touched. It's in our music. It's in our rhythm of how I'm like talking right now. Rhythm is in everything. And I'm telling you, that is the magical aspect of life as a wave. One of many of them is that you can use rhythm itself. Just, if you forget something, you want to do a little bit of a dance. And that rhythm itself with the dance will help you remember that thing. Rhythm is a way to connect to your memory. Rhythm is a way to connect to ideas and creativity. So there you go. Just thought I would dive in deep here for a quick little bit. Again, this is all raw, brand new stuff just coming out of my head right now based on a picture I drew about 20 minutes ago. Hopefully you got something out of it. And but I thank you for watching, because again, this is really for me to just know that somebody might see this, puts me in a particular state so that I can start getting some clarity on it. So with that being said, I'm going to go hang out with my pups. All right, guys. I just feel like I have to say one other thing to like make this clear. Try this as an experiment. If there's something that you're trying to get out of your head, try experimenting what it feels like to let it be there and not trying to get rid of it. Like I had a song in my head the other day, and I was trying to get rid of it out of my head. So instead I did the opposite. I listened to it intently. I listened to it very, very, very closely with my eyes closed. Because I know the paradox. And how do you solve a paradoxical problem? Paradox. Oh, I don't want to hear that song in my head? Great. So in this case, I'm going to actually listen to it fully, eyes closed, and I actually danced to it. And later on that evening, when it resurfaced in my mind, it didn't have, it's like, oh, I don't want to hear it. It was just like, yeah, there it is. And my mind just let it go. Paradox, I am telling you, the most important concept one could ever play with, and see how it is at play in every facet of life. Cool stuff. See ya.